The following opinions are solely those of BoatTest.com and its test captain. Flatboats have a lot of appeal for getting into shallow water, but they're not known for getting into any chop whatsoever until now. This is the Carolina Cat 23cc, and it can handle both the skinny water and offshore runs. I'm going to take it on a full test and performance review and see how she does. For BoatTest.com, I'm Captain Steve. One of the first things I noticed about the 23cc is that she has more freeboard than your typical shallow draft boat. Measuring 27 inches at the stern and rising up to 40 inches at the bow, this will keep the occupants safer and drier during coastwise operations. Let's start our look at the operational features at the helm. The helm in the 23cc is mounted to the port side of the console, and the stainless steel wheel is connected to a single ram hydraulic steering. There's room in the panel for a 12-inch display, and the compass is mounted in line of sight with the helm. Clutter is kept to a minimum thanks to the Yamaha multifunction displays. The acrylic windshield is wraparound and presents minimal distortion at the corners. A storage shelf is underneath the helm, along with a recessed footwell. The leaning post is well padded, and there's room underneath for a carry-on cooler. I also like that there's an additional footrest underneath the leaning post. Under the forward hatch of the U-shaped seating is an anchor storage locker, and there's a notch in the hatch to allow the road to run through. A thoughtful feature on the 23cc is how far apart the 115 horsepower Yamaha 4-strokes are mounted. At 3 feet 6 inches apart, they provide excellent torque for low-speed maneuverability and handling around the dock. Now let's get underway and see how this 23cc handles. Our Carolina Cat 23cc had a length overall of 22 feet 7 inches, a beam of 8 feet 6 inches, and a draft of only 11 inches. With an empty weight of 3,200 pounds, full fuel, 2 people, and test power, we had a test weight of 5,024 pounds. With twin 115 horsepower Yamaha 4-strokes powering our test boat, we reached a top speed at 6,000 RPM and 44.7 miles per hour. At that speed, we had a fuel burn of 20.5 gallons per hour for a range of 188 miles. Best cruise came in at 3,000 RPM and 19 miles per hour. Now the fuel burn was only 5.55 gallons per hour for a range of 295 miles, which means you can continually operate your 23cc at cruise for over 17 hours. Very impressive numbers no matter how you slice it. Upon acceleration, the 23cc exhibits a 10-degree bow rise, which keeps the horizon in clear view, and once on plane, she settles into a 4-degree bow high attitude. As with most catamarans, if you put it into a shallow turn, it will remain at a level attitude throughout the turn. However, if you put it into a hard turn, it will roll 10 degrees into the turn. And when you take power off, she'll settle back into the water at a level attitude. While we had a relatively calm day during our test, passing back and forth across the wake of the camera boat showed how the 23cc's fine hull entry slices cleanly through the waves. You can see that she throws very little spray, and the effects of the wakes were hardly felt on board. She also tends to remain in a flat attitude when crossing the wake at an angle. For a catamaran, this isn't surprising, even for a boat with such shallow draft. But the question still remains, can she handle offshore conditions? Well, just take a look. In my opinion, the team at Carolina Cat has successfully combined the characteristics of 4 different boats all into one. This 23cc has the shallow draft of a flats boat, the fishability of a center console, the roominess of a deck boat, and the performance and range of an offshore fish boat. That's my full test and performance review of the new Carolina Cat 23cc. For BoatTest.com, I'm Captain Steve. We'll see you on the water.